Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Mark from Sound Matters. When collecting certain special edition releases, you may have come across the terms such as live to vinyl, direct to disc, or direct to acetate. But what do these terms actually mean, and why might it be an appealing thing to buy or collect? In today's video, part of a 101 series that I run here at the channel, we're going to answer that question today. All of these terms actually mean exactly the same thing, and as the name suggests, it's the process of recording directly to a vinyl cutting lathe without first recording to either magnetic tape or digital storage. For those who may not know, it's worth mentioning that on said lathe we are cutting the lacquer-coated aluminium disc, which will eventually be used to create metal stampers that then is used to press all the final vinyl records. In fact, most sound recordings intended for records were actually recorded direct to a master disc until around about the 1950s. It wasn't widespread to use magnetic tape until around about 1948, with the introduction of the modern microgroove LP. This was an incredibly stressful process for both musician and engineer, because if any major musical or technical mistakes were made, you simply had to start again. There was no way to fix it in post-production. In the late 1960s and through the 1970s, the process had a bit of a resurgence among audiophile circles. It was viewed as a way of bypassing the inherent noise and fidelity loss associated with magnetic tape. Despite the hassle, the gains in terms of audio quality were viewed as worth the bother. When you consider that each transfer of a recording from tape to tape will degrade the audio quality, it's easy to see why this process gained traction during the pre-digital era. Engineers could avoid all the noise floor and tape saturation to achieve a cleaner final record with superior high-frequency transients. So why do we still see direct-to-disc recordings? In recent years, the process has made a comeback once more, perhaps most notably by the famous example by Jack White's Third Man Records, who resurrected the process back in 2013. In the UK, London-based Metropolis Studios run regular live-to-vinyl sessions where a full band performs a recording directly to vinyl in front of a live studio audience. Back in the 1970s, of course, digital recording was in its absolute infancy, but this process offered people a way of improving the quality of analog recordings. These days, though, tape quality has improved a lot, and actually the vast majority of modern recordings are made digitally anyway. So if this is the case, tape is used less and less. Why would you want to record direct to disc? The analog versus digital debate aside, perhaps the most compelling argument for this process is around capturing raw performances. As Third Man Records puts it, we believe that this new stroke old method of recording is as honest as it gets, bringing listeners as close to the experience of the live performance as possible. There is definitely something to be said for capturing a moment, and one of the most magical things I think about older recordings is that musicians often had to get things right first time. And actually I'd argue that some of the most magical moments on some records happen as a direct result of actually making some human error. The element of human error is something I think we very sadly lost touch with in terms of modern recording processes. With modern recording software, we can make a record that is perfect in every single way. We can grid a performance so it's perfectly in time, correct the pitch of practically everything, and redo takes indefinitely. But the result is a kind of sterilization of the recording process that can produce results that leaves a listener cold. I would argue that the most timeless records strike a balance between polished studio production and human style performances. Where the right balance sits for you will depend greatly on your own aesthetic sensibilities. Artists like Neil Young are known for deliberately encouraging spontaneity to capture a moment. When receiving a special award at the Grammys ceremony for engineers and producers a few years back, he explained his recording ethos in detail. A lot of you out there are craftsmen, just beautiful records and take care with every single note, and I know I'm not one of them. I like to capture the moment. I like to record the moment. I like to get the first time I sung the song, and I like to get the first time the band plays the song. There's a lot of compromises you make to get that feeling, but in the long run, that's where the pictures are, when I hear my words and when I see the pictures while I'm listening. So that's what we try to record. Direct-to-disc recordings in the modern day gives the artists and engineers the ability to remove the temptation of perfection in favour of capturing a moment. If you want to see this whole process from start to finish, I'll drop a couple of the videos from Jack White's Third Man Records where you can see the whole process in action. As you'll see, the whole entire process requires a great deal of skill and communication to make sure it all gets pulled off without a hitch. So that concludes today's topic. I think it's just another example of how fantastic this format is and how it still has a place in the modern music experience. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and supporting this channel by checking out the discount codes in the description of this video. There's money off vinyl gear, so you can enjoy a discount at no extra cost to you, and I get a very small commission. Helps keep this channel going. There's also my Patreon page for bonus content. I'll drop a link in the description for that as well. If you're new here, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But until that next video, guys, keep spinning, keep enjoying the music, and I'll see you then. Cheers.